I almost let her in. I almost let that thing in. I dashed on the steps as fast as I could. I could hear Karen's voice calling my name from the front door. I wasn't thinking straight. I was just so relieved that my wife was home and safe that I couldn't concentrate on anything else. Chester saved me. I heard him barking furiously when I got downstairs. He had gone back to sleeping in his doghouse after I had slammed the sliding door shut in the face of the delivery man earlier. The mob outside hadn't so much as given Chester a second look after they realized that I was in the house. But now, Chester was howling outside at the front door. This gave me the faintest pause. Just as my hand was about to unlock the door, I peered out the peephole. Karen was standing there, looking just as she did this morning when she left. Her long blonde hair was pulled up in a neat, tight ponytail, and her black pantsuit was unwrinkled. She held a brown suitcase in her hand, and was staring intently back into the peephole as if she could see me.
Paul, can you let me in? I forgot my key at work.
I didn't answer. I was busy watching Chester, who was barking up a storm and growling at Karen. Meanwhile, Karen hadn't even glanced at the dog. That was enough to put me on my guard. Karen loved that dog like a mother loved her son. Usually, the first thing she did when she got home was pick him up and tell him what a good boy he was. Yet now, she wasn't so much as giving him a friendly pat on the head.
Babe, can you hurry up and open the door? It was a hell of a day at work and I'm exhausted.
I still didn't speak.
Open the door. Open the door, Paul.
Karen began to knock on the front door. Her face became blank, expressionless.
Open the door, Paul.
The knocking began again. From every window in the house, I could see the shadows again behind the curtains. Knocking slowly. Voices from every direction joined Karen's. A hellish cacophony of a single statement, repeated over and over.
Open the door, Paul. Let me in, Paul.
I tried to back away from the door, but my legs failed me. I fell backwards, landing hard. I screamed, louder than I ever have before. I sat there on the ground, and screamed, covering my ears, trying to drown out the voices from outside, but I could still feel them. The walls of the house seemed to be shaking, quivering from the onslaught of knocking. It was as if the entire building was in danger of collapsing down on me. I don't know how long I was on the floor, paralyzed by fear. It felt like days had gone by before I was able to get a hold of myself and get back upstairs. The knocking never stopped, never slowed. It seemed to be getting louder with every passing moment. I took a glance out of my bedroom window about an hour ago, and nearly began to scream again. There were hundreds of people out there. It was as if my house was a fucking lifeboat, adrift in a sea of human bodies. My front lawn alone must have had close to 200 people on it. Some of them I recognized as my neighbors, but the rest were just strangers. They all just stood there like statues, motionless, watching, waiting for me. Suddenly, every single head turned in unison and looked in my direction, every single pair of eyes staring unblinkingly. I haven't looked out the window since. There's no help coming. I've called every number I know, emailed, texted, no one answers. Every channel of the television is static. How the fuck is this even possible? Chester's still out there, running around. I can hear him barking sometimes over the knocking. That fucking knocking. Those things are just ignoring him, thankfully. I hope that he gets away from here. Find somewhere safe. If there's anywhere else that is safe. I don't have many options. I've barricaded the doors and windows as best I could. The worst part was when I was piling chairs in front of the sliding glass back door. It's dark out now, but I could still see them. They just stand out there, waiting and knocking. That fucking knocking. I don't know how long I've been trapped in this house. Maybe it's been days, maybe it's been a week. There's very little food in the house. Karen was supposed to stop by the store on her way home. My car is parked outside. There are a dozen of them between it and me. I could never make it. There are no weapons in the house. Would it even matter, though? There could be thousands of them out there now. More. And I'm the only person left in the neighborhood who isn't one of those things. Maybe the only one left in town? Left in the world? Are you? Sitting in front of your computer screen reading this? Or perhaps on your phone? Even now, one of them? Trying to gain my trust? Trying to convince me to let you in? To open the door? That knocking! Why won't it just stop? I can't take it much longer. I feel like my ears are bleeding. I can hear it no matter where I go in the house. And those voices calling my name over and over. The knocking is almost deafening now. I want it to stop. Maybe it will stop if I give them what they want. I have to make it stop. I have to make the knocking stop. That fucking knocking! Karen! I'm coming! Karen! Hey everyone. Sorry I got a little carried away there. I really don't know what came over me. Thank goodness Karen was there. She got me to the doctor right away, and apparently I had some sort of mental breakdown. The doc said it was brought on by a combination of stress from work and a bad reaction to some medicine I took for my sore throat. Just my luck. Karen always said I worked too hard. Anyways, thanks for your concern and support. Nothing to worry about. I'm fine, feeling much better now. About to go feed Chester. I don't know what has gotten into that dog, but he hasn't stopped growling at me all morning. Well, I'd best be going. Karen and I are going to visit some friends out of town for a few days. Thanks again. Maybe I'll run into some of you. I can always come by for a visit. Hey, I'll even bring Chester. All you have to do is open your door.